Yo, it's your boy Legend, and this is season three, episode 2 of the So What You Think podcast. And we here live, man. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's get into it. Yeah. So welcome to the So What You Think podcast. Man, this is your first time here. I go by the name TSW Legend from TSW Camp, but this is a So What You Think podcast where you're free to think and we think about life through the lens of the gospel. We talk about faith, culture, life here on the So What You Think podcast. Man, what a privilege and honor it is for me to be here. Like I said, this is the season 3, episode 2 episode. If you haven't tuned in, we got episodes our last episode that was on YouTube and on Spotify. If you listen to podcasts, and also we got previous episodes from past years. So be sure to tune into those. But man, we right now on this episode. So let's hop into it. Our first topic is we're gonna talk about faith, man. Let's get it. All right, so talk about faith. Talk about faith. That's one of our segments that we do on the show, and the verse that's kind of been hitting home for me um, for quite a while now is one of my favorite verses because I think it encompasses a lot of who we are as Christians, as believers. Is 1 Corinthians 10:31, and that verse says, "Whether you eat or whether you drink or whatever you do it for the glory of God." Right? Whether you eat or whether you drink, whatever you do it for the glory of God. And I think what happens, or what can happen sometimes, is when you're a believer, whether you're young or you're old, there's this idea that you have to separate your church life, your saved life, from your everyday life. There's two different things, but I think when you break it down in that context with that action, it creates this duality. It creates this fragmented reality where you become unstable, right? And you become real fragile. There's no stability in living that way because you feel like you're always putting on a mask. You're shifting masks. You feel like you can't be um, who you are. And I think, matter of fact, not even think, I know that's not how God intended us to live, right? God wanted us to be uh, natural, right? And be all that we are meant to be and all that we're supposed to be um in all things, in all aspects of life. Whether you're around believers, whether you're not around believers, you should be a Christian. Your life should be led by the lens of the gospel, by the truth of the gospel, by the hope that is found in the gospel. Even when you're in bad times or around folks who may not believe that, and because what happens is you start to blend in with crowds, or you start to uh change your ways, and then you're not standing on truth or not standing committed. And we want to be people who say, man, whatever it is that we're doing, wherever we are, we live our lives through the lens of the gospel. Scripture that kind of correlates with this is a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. So when we put that split down the middle, where we say, man, we're going to live this way in front of other people, and live this way at church, or man, on Sunday at Bible study, I'm this person, and then everything else, I'm gonna be this person. We and in some sense, in a lot of sense, we haven't made that commitment to stand firm on what we say. We haven't chosen a side, right? We haven't chosen. Okay, man, I'm gonna give my all to God. I'm gonna be all in for God, or am I just going to, just keep trading faces? If it's like Face Off, Nick Cage and John Travolta, who am I when people aren't around? God sees everything, and I personally want to be a person where I'm playing basketball, whether I'm doing music, whether I'm doing something like a podcast, whether I'm, with my wife or with my friends. I want to be the same person where people say, man, that brother lives his life through the lens of the gospel, where people see me and they can see Jesus. and not saying that I'm trying, I'm perfect, right? I'm striving for perfection. I'm being perfected, but I want there to be a realness of how I live my life where you could tell I'm living my life through the lens of the gospel, right? I'm not saved because I'm perfect, right? Any true Christian believer will tell you that I'm not saved because I'm perfect. I'm saved because I don't have it all together, right? I'm saved because if it was up to me, man, life would be over. I would be, hell would be my portion. However, because I know the Lord and because He saved me, man, the best thing I can do is live my life for Him, and not just my church life or not just when I'm at church and I'm hanging out with other Christians. My whole life should be garnered towards Him getting the glory of what people see through me. And I'm not saying that's always easy. I'm not saying that it'll be a perfect road, but we don't use the fact that we are imperfect people as a reason to be imperfect. If anything, you're just throwing in the towel, right? That would be quitting on purpose. That's forfeiting. But I don't want to forfeit the blessing of a new life, of a new standard that God has given me. In fact, I just want to spread the word about what that is and share with other people the truth of what that is through the life I live, right? That's being honest and saying, man, certain people I might have used to hang out with, I can't hang out with those people because I got to live a life that is dedicated to gospel, right? Live a life that is pleasing to the Lord, right? That's not saying that you can't have a heart that where you want to go back, but you have to spiritually take introspection of your life and say, man, am I really able? Am I mature enough? Do I have enough discernment enough where I can go back and reach these people without being tainted or corrupted or even influenced? Right? There's a saying, I don't know where it came from. I feel like I've always said it. You're either an influence or you're influenced. And I think we have to choose, man. Like, or ask ourselves honestly, man, am I strong enough to be an influence, and or am I going to be influenced? And then also know that the life that you live wherever you are does not, especially from the lens of the gospel, that's not coming from your own strength. You are meant to be a light through the strength of the gospel because you are trusting in Jesus for the answer. When you trust in yourself for the answer, that's making yourself God, right? We don't want to be people who do that, right? Because man, He said, if you don't humble yourself, I'll abase you, and I don't want to be abased by God. I don't want to be knocked down because when God does it, it's something radical. It's something crazy. But we do want to be people who live our lives with the gospel in all things that we do, man. So whether you eat, or whether you drink, or whatever you do, man, you jumping rope, you watching a movie, you're playing basketball, right? Watching the Super Bowl, whatever it is, man. Like, live that life through the lens of the gospel, where God can say, man, I know that person is striving for my glory and for my righteousness. And that verse has been something that has blessed me throughout my life, because I think there is sometimes when early on this duality where you're like, man, like, how do I live in the world but not be of it? But when you realize, man, my life is through the lens of the gospel, through the lens of the truth, through the lens of who God has called me to be, then there isn't this unstableness, this fragility that comes into play. You know that, man, if I stand on business, if I stand firm, if I stand on the firm foundation that Christ has given me, man, I can't lose. So, well, I want to encourage you all with that verse, 1 Corinthians 10:31. Whatever you eat, whether you eat or whether you drink or whatever you do for the glory of God, man. Live your life for the glory of God, man. Let's take out the line that divides uh this, our schedules of how we live our life. And just choose to go all in for God. You feel me? You feel me? Yes, sir. All right, cool. So, be sure when you tune into the podcast, bring your Bibles. You know what I mean? But yo, that was a faith segment. But our next segment, we gonna talk about culture. So let's get into it. All right, so this is what's popping off in culture, man. There's a couple of different things that's popping off in culture. One, as of this recording, man, we had the Oscars that happened. What else is happening? Scary movie announced that it's back. You know what I mean? That'll be a pretty interesting topic. But one of the things I want to talk about, and I think it's because of it's the vein of how um, I kind of filter things, or not filter things, but how being a hip hop artist, man, I want to talk about hip hop inability sometimes in certain respects to not grow up. And what I'm talking about and what I'm kind of leaning into is the 50 Cent and T.I. Kind of situation, dilemma or beef. As of right now, it seems like it's calm, but I don't know. I'm kind of over it. Keep it 100. For those who don't know, man, like Ti, 50 Cent, hip hop, legends. Some would say, a lot of people would say, there are people who are pioneers in the space, who are doing a lot. But I think what kind of kind of struck this nerve, or not necessarily a nerve, but really put this topic in the focus was, man, hip hop has a problem growing up. Hip hop is 50 plus years old, man. I think hip hop was like 53, 54 years old. And basically, this beef started because of verses, right? What happened initially to make the story shorter, I guess, was Ti and 50 agreed to do a versus, which was a big thing during COVID, where two artists would kind of go and they would be put against each other to share the best catalog. And Ti said, man, like, I think this would be us honoring each other's catalog. And he said he hit Fifth, and Fifth was like, yeah, let's do it. And 50 didn't do it. So then Ti was kind of like, man, I don't like the way you move. It's kind of snobby. And 50, being the ultimate troll, began to post certain things. He's always going to be a troll. So he posts Ti's wife and just posting a bunch of different memes and all these different things. And I think the point for me that was kind of like disappointing was, I'm like, man, you guys are, OGs now. Like, you're supposed to be the figureheads in hip hop. And I think, man, like, I was a little bit taken aback. I don't know why. I wasn't surprised, but I wish there was some maturity where it was, okay, bro, you don't want to do this? Cool. I'm not going to take it to the internet, or I'm not going to post memes, or I'm not going to call you out your name. I'm just going to let you live. Ain't that deep. Because the fact that this beef started over a versus, and now basically what happened was Ti dropped the diss record, and I think uh, you know his family got into it. Ti dropped this record, then his son King dropped a song, and then like his other son Damani dropped a song, and 50 dropped some, like, some videos on his Instagram or whatever. And you know I think for me it's just like, okay, who really cares? Who cares, and what benefit does this, aid hip hop? And then it just shows like this lack of maturity to handle things civilly. I think what also sparked this conversation was, I think a little whiles ago, at the same time when that beef was popping off, I think Ja Rule and Tony Yayo saw each other on a plane, and they were acting all crazy and arguing and all this other stuff. And it's just like, man, I get it in some sense. I don't agree, because I see through the lens of the gospel, I'll see it differently. And I can't expect, if you don't live your life that way, to for you to necessarily react in that way. Um, but it's like, man, like, let's just be civil, man. Like, let's just be people where I say, man, I'm not going to deal with you. I'm not going to be bothered with you, and you don't got to be bothered with me. But all the back and forth and, like, just the nonsense from men who are like, pushing 50, if not 50 already. It doesn't make sense. And then on top of that, man, you know how angry you gotta be to like write a poetic sonnet about somebody. it's just like, man, I'm really upset with you. So you know what? I'm gonna hop on this beat, and I'm gonna spit poetically about you. Right now, I'm not one who is ignorant to the lore of hip hop culture. Hip hop culture has a lot of times has had its origin in bragging or not backing down or not being afraid. But I think as when it becomes when it especially becomes personal and really vile, it's like, man, like, especially from people who are supposed to be respected pioneers. It's like, come on, man, let's be better. Because I mean, I don't know Drake, I don't know J. Cole, I don't know Kendrick. But what I do know is, even with that beef, I think when J. Cole and Kendrick especially, right? I think Cole and Kendrick's beef was more like you talking trash, right? Talking trash to your homie who you play ball with. If your homie said, yo, man, I'll beat you in ball, you're like, yo, check it out. And I think it was going to be a verbal spar in that way. I even, me personally, and some people may not feel this way, when Cole said, man, I don't want no parts, you know what I mean? I apologize. I kind of acted out myself. I thought that was pretty decent. I thought that was admirable, right? Again, I don't agree with, maybe the content, but I cannot um, say that, man, like, these dudes aren't skilled artists and they've been given a gift by God. Um, but I think that was like a verbal sparring, you know what I mean? Or like you playing one on one with your homie. Kendrick and Drake was personal. that's that's personal. It's been evident for quite a bit that they don't like each other. And they have beef with each other. And that was personal, right? I pray, maturity comes into the situation, that these brothers get to know the Lord, and you know, one day it'll just be something they laugh about. But that was personal. I think from somebody like Ti and 50 Cent, I think this also goes to say too, maturity is not just an age number; it's a mindset, right? You can be living in the world for forever and a day and still not have the common sense to just be a man. I'm gonna just walk away, right? I know altercations are easy, right, to be a part of, right? It's easy to get riled up, but it's like, man, like when you choose to like walk away or not give certain stuff attention, man, it'll die down, right? That person that's always poking, right, trying to get a rise out of you, and you just like kind of, this kind of is weird because I'm poking myself, but that person that's always trying to get a rise out of you, and you just let them do it, and you don't show anything on your face, man, it'll that person eventually will get tired and try to move on to the next thing. And I think, man, 50 is always going to troll. But let's be honest, 50 hasn't rapped in like quite some time. Like, it's been a couple years since 50 really said, I'm going to be a rapper. Ti was rapping, then kind of semi-retired, was doing movies, did like stand up, and then he like came back. He's coming back now, about to drop an album called Kill the King, supposed to be his last album. And man, it's just more so, man. Sometimes some stuff you just gotta avoid, like through the lens of maturity, right? And I was kind of like, one, where did this beef come from? Like, is all of this spawned from a versus? And then two, I was like, okay, it didn't need to be taken this far. And as of right now, man, I'm glad it hasn't turned violent. Um, but some stuff you just gotta walk away from, man. Like, let's just say, nah. Like, I'm good. I'm straight. All right, you handled it that way. Cool. I'm just gonna wipe my hands from it, keep it pushing, keep it moving. Because it's not worth my time. It's not worth me investing so much in, to the point where I just get out of pocket and unseemly. So yeah, that's that. I just want hip hop to grow up. I really, hip hop is a art form that I love and respect dearly. Man, I've always said that, you've been to a show with legend. It's been, man, I 100% love hip hop, but I 1,000% love Jesus, and that is true. But there are moments where hip hop has said and done and allowed some things where it's just like, man, like, we're is this what good does this do? And then I think for me, as an artist who was Christian, a Christian artist, Christian hip hop artist, whatever you want to call it, man, I'm speaking true. I always want to be someone where I strive to make good art, the best art I can, but also, man, like let's be better. Let's take it to the highest level that we can take it as far as maturity, manhood. You know what I mean, following Christ, and yeah, really being about it, bro. Really being about it. Other news and culture, man. Spider-Man trailer is supposed to drop pretty soon. Let's see how that go. I've seen some stills and some screenshots. Man, I don't know. Marvel is always going to have the money with Spider-Man. But Spider-Man is Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Will it be great or will it be good? We'll kind of find out. I just feel bad because they have yet to give him his own movie, like for real, for real. I think his only movie in this iteration of who he was has only been the first one, and even then, that was like Tony Stark. Shout out to Tony, bang with Tony. But it was like, okay, so if we talking Spider Man, as far as like Spider Man who have had their own movies, I guess as far as like, man, they really told stories. It's probably Toby. Toby, one, two, and three, those movies were solely Spider-Man films that had other people in it. The Marvel films, because um, the world is so full, and with the multiverse, it's always everybody else in it. So Spider-Man trailer supposed to drop soon. We'll probably talk about that on episode 3. That's happening. Scary movie is back. I haven't seen the trailer yet. I haven't watched it yet. I've seen little like posters, but um, I don't know, man. I feel like Scary Movie is going to be a movie that's going to be really divisive for some people. And and then as a person who loves comedy, grew up on the way-ins, remember the Scary Movie films, I'm not sure how far they're going to take it. And um, yeah, I just Lord help us, man. Use discernment. You know what I mean? Um, so that's what's going on right now in the world as far as the recording of this podcast. Yeah, man. Let's just be people who look at things through a lens of maturity, um, and the maturity that God has graced us with, man. Uh, Kind of goes along with what I was talking about in the faith segment. So that's faith, culture, and man, yo, man, we gonna get into this life segment, man, and we just gonna push that. Let's go. All right, so this is what life has been as of late. If you haven't noticed, SoWhat Festival 2026 is happening, right? Clap it up, right? That's the thing, right? It's gonna be a beautiful, beautiful festival, man. We got so much planned, so many great, dynamic artists and people who are involved. We about I don't know, probably like 81 days or so away. I don't know the exact number, but man, this is the 6th year that we've been doing this, and it's been a ride and a journey and a pleasure, and I'm super excited for this year because there's so much stuff, man. We got the So What All Star Game, which is happening May 23rd, 2026. So that's happening. The charity that we'll be supporting is the Hope Center in Southwest. It'll be more details on that. But shout out to the great folks and people at City Life Philly and City Life Southwest. Man, they're doing a great work over there, trying to help that community just be all that God has called them to be. So the proceeds for the game will be going to that. Man, that's so what pay. We asking for a minimum of $5, but come out, bring a friend, enjoy a great game. We had some good games the past couple years. This will be our 4th year doing it. First year, John Bulls was MVP, inaugural MVP. Then second year, I won an MVP. Then last year, our MVP was Sidney Arnold. So 4th year, I don't know who's gonna grab that MVP trophy. Who's gonna win? The best game, and I'm not just being biased. The best game that we had so far was the one. that came down to a nail biter. And you know, I'm not just saying that because I won MVP. That was a pretty good game. It was competitive, but that's great. So that's happening May 23rd. Proceeds go to help the Hope Center. That's May 23rd at 11 o'clock uh, at City Life Philly. Then you got about a week later, you know, which is like the game is kind of like the kickoff of like SoWhat Festival. So then what happens after that? Then you got June 3rd. We got SoWhat Gives, man, where you get the opportunity to volunteer and give back. Man, it's not just simply about being artists and being on the stage and just doing music. Man, you gotta serve too. You gotta care about serving people and you know, showing the love of God. So man, we get to help a local church in North Philly, and this is really special to me as well as you know the whole weekend is special to me, but this is special to me as well because this is a church where I grew up at. I spent a lot of my younger teenage years to young adult years here, and it's a local church that is striving to, you know, just trying to be a difference in that neighborhood, and they just need some help. So we'll probably be going there to clean and move some stuff and paint and do some other stuff just to serve and volunteer our time. So you want to sign up for that, man? That'll be in the link in our bio for the TSW Camp IG page. We'll probably post it on our So What You Think podcast page as well, but that's June 3rd. Then June 4th, man. June 4th is the Kingdom Social. You know what I'm saying? So the Kingdom Social has always been a fun time. And this year, we got an art and faith conversation. We got an open mic. You know what I'm saying? We don't know what might come from the open mic. You should pop out. We got tacos. I mean, we got networking. If you are an artist, a producer, a clothing designer, you know, I don't know, fashion designer, I probably already said that, podcaster, whatever, yo, come on out to the Kingdom Social. Make sure you text that number. You know what I mean? The So What number, the 267-775. I forgot it off the top of my head, but matter of fact, let me pull out my phone just to give it to y'all. The So What number is, give me 1 second, going to find the flyer. It's 267-775. I forgot the rest. This is bad. This is not good. All right, hold up. Hold on. We gonna go. Here we go. So for the Kingdom Social, the number is 267-775-9879. So we got Kingdom Social. It's networking, it's art and faith conversation, it's an open mic, and it's tacos. Man, it's always been a pleasure. And that's free 99. Man, you don't gotta pay for that at all. Just text that number and you gotta text Kingdom to that number, 267-775-9879. We'll make sure the flyer is up and posted. That's June 3rd, June 4th. Then June 5th is night one, man. And night one is a dope night, man. We got my brother Nick Ward sliding out, man. He just dropped a single, Sean Livingstone. You know what I mean? We got my boy OT sliding out. Uh, you know, we got DJ LA, you know what I'm saying, on the ones and twos. You know what I mean? Then we got, let me just pull out the flyer. I might as well have, you know, I'm gonna just keep it open. Right? So we got, like I said, my brother Nick Ward. We got DJ LA. We got OT. Right? We got Sharif Gatson, and you know you got a kid, you know, named Legend, man. That's night one. Super excited for that. Tickets are available right now. For night one, so you can get night one, night two tickets, or you can do the double ticket where you get both of them for the. I'll get it. I'll get into that after I do this. Right. Then you got night two, right? Which you got Just Tamir, you got Michelle Lee, you got Takia Faith, you got Change Worship Philly, and then you got El Grimlock, right? So here's the thing about So What Festival, right? The festival nights are the fifth and the sixth, but the whole entire weekend or extravaganza festival has always been a whole lot of fun, right? So tickets for 1 day, so you get a 1 day ticket. So you want to pick a day, right? You can't make both days. That's $15. If you get tickets for 2 days, that's $24, right? $24. You can't beat that 2 day concert for $24. You get both days, right? We got group rates available, so you want to bring you and your homies. You got 7 or more. Come on out, man. Invite somebody. Tell somebody. Bring someone. Bring your church, man. That's gonna be a dope time. All the stuff. We got the So What game, All Star game. We got the So What Gives. We got the Kingdom Social. We got the 2 nights of the concert. Man, this is a 6 years of doing this, man, of celebrating. So that's gonna be fun. As far as like whatever else is going on in life, man. Again, shout out to my church covenant fellowship, man. We're doing a lot of great stuff. Seeing God move in Chester, and just not even like you know with like these I don't want to say every day we wake up is a miracle, but seeing God move just in how you are sharing kindness and talking to people and having conversations with people and seeing how that has an effect on people has been really great. Um, for me, um, it's been very profound. So, coming to fellowship, doing a lot of great stuff. Um, wife is great, man. Lancey Beauty. If you want some clothing, for you or your daughter or whatever, man, make sure like you tap into Lancey Beauty. Probably not supposed to be telling y'all this, but a pop up shop is happening pretty soon. So that'll probably be reposted and reshared. But really proud of her, what God is doing in her life. Oh man. Me and Doc Hero, shout out Doc Hero. We got nominated for the award, Kindred Award. So that's kind of cool. Rap duo award. That's kind of fire, man. So you want to vote for us to win an award for Undrafted too? Like do that. Appreciate it. New music dropping soon, man. I'm working on new music. I'm probably gonna do that after I do this, or you know. And I've been working on new music. Team is working on new music. We got stuff we haven't dropped. It's in the clip. But it's been fun, man. What else is going on in life? Life has just been good, man. Life is always good when Jesus is in it. That might sound cliche, but it's no cap, bro. I can't sit here and fake and make up stuff. Life is great, good. I'm blessed, bro, and the people around me are blessed. And man, even though we going, we might be going through it. Sometimes, man, like God is still good. Shout out to my dog, who just rung the bell today, who had a little bit of a cancer situation, but he rang the bell today, man. Shout out to him. Love his family. They my family. Man, this has been a great time of like celebration. What else? So what you think podcast? Being back is great. You might see a change in a little bit. I ain't gonna say what it might be, but it might be a different setting. You know what I mean? So I'll shout that out when that time is coming. But yeah, man, I'm super blessed and honored. Um, just to be a part of whatever God is doing, and we are too here at TSW Camp. Um, and the So What You Think podcast, man. This being back, man, is freeing, it's joyful, it's liberating, it's all the things, right? All the adjectives, man. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe and share. You drop a comment. Talk about what you might want to talk about in episode 3. You know what I mean? Be sure to uh send an email about what you might want to talk about in episode 3, what you might want to hear, who you might want to have on. We'll be sure to have some guests on, maybe some pastors, some leaders, some artists, some musicians, different people, man. But this has been great, man. This is freeing for me and all those who tuned in. I appreciate it. Man, we ain't stopping, man. We gone. So this has been the So What You Think podcast. Free your mind, think for yourself, but think the way that Jesus wants you to think. And I'm gone. Peace.